Books on Books on the Brain.
All right, let's save some lives.
Okay, Derek Shepherd.
Beautiful day to save lives. All right. Welcome back to Books on the Brain, a podcast of books and nonsense. My name is Danielle,
My name is Deirdre.
and we are back again with another episode, the early morning edition, but it's the regular time for all of you, but it is early morning edition for D and I.
Well, I feel like it's perfectly normal morning for me. I don't know, but it is
Not,
early. It's a Saturday. Like, who wants
not
to
in
be
the
woken at
summertime.
9:30 on a Saturday?
It is 7 a.m. where I am, and that is early. That
The
is
joys of
early.
living across the world from each other.
I know, like it is early for me when I've been waking up. Well, mind you, I wake up and then I move to the couch and have a second nap. So technically I'm up at 6 every morning. But my second nap doesn't have me up until 10. So,
I do love a couch nap.
oh, so good. So good. My body's like, stop. Sleep in your nice supportive bed. But I'm like, but the couch nap means I can have the TV on,
Right.
which is nice.
I got to sleep in my bed last night for the first time in a month because as you all can see, I'm in my apartment today.
You
And
are
I was so cozy. I was like, oh, I have so much space. It's so soft.
so nice. You missed it.
I did miss it.
Oh man, oh man, oh man, oh it's.
Do you want to guess what I've been doing for the last week? Bet you can't.
Um, no, what have you been doing?
Reading. I'm so
Look at
excited
you.
for current reads at the end of the episode because I have been reading so many books
Okay, look at you go.
and finishing them. Who would
See,
have thought? Who would have thought?
it's been a dry summer. It's been a dry
Yeah.
year for me, man. I think I'm at like 35 books, and I'm like,
I think I might hit 50 by the end of the month.
I think I will hit 50 by the end of the year, is how I'm feeling,
Yeah.
which is crazy because like 2 years ago, I was popping out 200 books a year, and I'm
I
like,
know.
it's just times have changed. Those COVID times where you could just sit and read all day don't exist no more.
Nope.
Don't
Sure
exist. Dang. Dang, dang,
enough.
dang.
That's my update. I've been reading. She's back, folks.
She's back with a vengeance. Congratulations.
I figured out what I was in the mood to read. Shocker. I a known mood reader,
Yeah.
but like the moods are so specific.
Yeah.
Spy romance.
Spy romance. Ooh.
Yeah.
See, I feel like for the past 2 months, my reading has been very dictated about like I'm either in a book club, so I have to read the book club, or like I'm reading something for the podcast. So I haven't actually had like I've like Danielle mood read in a very long
Yeah.
time. So I'm excited to finish the 4 books that I need to finish, 5 books I need to finish, and then I can mood read for September is my goal.
Yeah.
September's for the mood reading girlies.
September is for the mood reading girlies. I'm bringing back my fantasy fall series,
Fun,
and I'm really excited.
fun. I'm excited. We're all excited. The cats are all excited. Everyone's excited. They're all excited for it. Um, Speaking of reading,
Who would have thought on a bookish podcast?
and that's what I'm saying. We've been talking a lot about Love Island this
We
summer.
have we have the reunion. The reunion's next week.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah, I think it's on the 25th. They just recorded it in New York.
Yeah, I just saw so they were a couple of them were on some late night show.
Hmm.
Oh, and then Taylor Swift announced a new album. There's so much to talk
She
about.
did, and Sabrina Carpenter's gonna be on it.
She sure is. That's going to be unstoppable.
Sabrina's album comes out in a couple weeks.
Look at us. We're being fed this September. We are being
I
fed.
feel like the summer has felt dry.
It it has felt dry. It just has felt, and maybe part of it is like the weather where I am has been like we've had a very rainy, cold
Same.
summer.
Not
And
cold. It's been rainy hot.
no, it's been rainy, cold here. And hi,
She said, right?
she said, get me out of here, girl. Um, so it just hasn't really felt like summer, you know?
Yeah. I'm sorry, I totally derailed your segue.
It's okay. I'm gonna just censor her.
Like a good mom.
All right, girl, come on. Yes, my love. What have you been reading lately? You've been reading the wet food containers. They've been really into wet food.
Um, we've been giving Ellie Fresh Pet, and she loves it a
Ooh.
lot, which is like it's not it's not wet food, but it's not dry food.
Huh.
Does that make sense? It's like you keep it
Hmm.
in the fridge,
Oh, okay.
so it's like cold and mushy. But
Mm.
I wouldn't like I wouldn't categorize it as wet food.
It's not like in gravy or whatever.
Mm-mm. But
Well,
she loves it.
yum.
Oh, she's getting
Getting all
groomed
the
today.
Aww.
I'm gonna have to ask my parents
Ah,
for
girl. I need to trim their nails. That's what that is. That is mom trim my nails. I see, girl. It's because she didn't get to come cuddle with me in bed this morning.
I see. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
What was that?
Oh my God, there's this. Okay, and then I'll get back to the segue. There's this trend on TikTok right now where, I mean, there's always some trend with cats where there's like, you look at their like baby photo and then you scan to like the photo of how they look now.
Uh-huh.
And so I went back to like the photo that I had of them from the ad
Oh.
off the um off the adoption site.
Hmm.
And I was like, like just like so emotional. And then I flipped to the photos that I took of them the other day, and they both look so like resting bitch face. And I was like, are you unhappy here? Like, oh my God, what is wrong? You guys feel like you've seen things in your life. Um, I'm gonna have to make the TikTok because they both are just like, like, is it because I have a camera in your face? What's the deal?
Me. Ellie hates being on camera.
I don't, mind you, they've never said anything otherwise, so how would I know?
Every time I pull out my phone to try and take a picture or video of her, she walks away. I have to be really sneaky.
No, the babies are okay. The babies are okay with it for the most part. I mean, they haven't told me
No
otherwise. How am
complaints?
I supposed to know? Yeah, how am I supposed to know? Speaking of reading, um, today we are going back to something we've done like many moons ago. I want
Mm,
to say 2 seasons ago, maybe three.
yeah.
Um, where we're gonna read some Reddit stories.
And by we, she means Danielle.
Well, it's okay because you get to react to them. And you get
That
to
makes
stop me whenever and be like, whoa, 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 whoa. I have been in, I've said it a couple times on the podcast. I've been in a total Smosh renaissance. I've been totally into Smosh again recently. And they have a hit podcast where Shane just reads Reddit stories. So this was kind of inspired by that. But these are all bookish things. Um, and because my favorite kind of Reddit stories are the ones with updates, all of these have updates. So you're welcome.
I'm ready.
Um, okay. I'm going to start off with a sweet one,
Okay.
a short and a sweet one. So this was originally posted on October 3rd, 2023.
Okay.
A lovely woman at a senior center I visit with the bookmobile was chatting with me and told me that her nurse from last night and her grandchild were both transgendery and asked if I had any books on the subject. But you probably don't have any books on that kind, she said. I was quite happy to tell her we have a large selection spread between the four libraries that the bookmobile pulls from, and that I would bring several next time I visit for her to choose from. She lit up and thanked me profusely. Sometimes I really, really love this job. And then here are some comments on the original post. I live in Southwest Virginia, and so when she started talking, I was like, oh boy, here we go. Just smile and
Mhm.
nod. But I was so happy she explained why she wanted the books. Someone asks, what book did you suggest?
Mm.
I will keep that book in mind. The Bookmobile services two rural countries. So Selfish by Chloe Sweewink, Beyond Magenta by Susan Kuckling, Love Lies Here by Amanda Jetnox, You're in the Wrong Bathroom and 20 Other Myths and Misconceptions About Transgender and Gender Nonconforming People by Laura Erickson Skroth, The Transgeneration by Anne Travers, What's the Tea With by Juno Dawson, and Genderqueer by Maya Kobib. Um, and I just looked it up, and we have this is how it always is in our system. I'm definitely bringing a copy of that as well. She did mention she likes having fiction novels as well as nonfiction for when it all gets a little dry. So lucky to have patrons like her. Thank you so much for your recommendations. Um, and then this is just another funny note from OP from the original poster. When I started working as a librarian, I was an associate librarian for 3 years before getting the bookmobile job. I was astonished to find that most of the raunchy Harlequin novels with half-naked models on the front were checked out by the sweetest, most mild-mannered elderly people. It always cracks me up. Get a grandma. And then this is the update. So from about 3 weeks after the original post. So I showed the lovely patron with the transgender grandchild the LGBTQIA plus books I brought, and she looked at me confused and said, "Oh, I don't want to read about that. I have a live one." Turns out she didn't want books on LGBTQIA plus. She was just wondering if we had books about it in the library for others to read and learn about. And I misinterpreted it as a request. Still, she's very happy we have so many different resources for people to use when educating themselves. Um, so still a win.
That's so sweet. I
Sweet,
have a
right?
live one.
I got a live one.
That feels like such a grandma thing.
But so sweet that it was like, um, thought to like you saw the book and being like, oh, I wonder if there's resources for other people, especially hearing about what's going on in the States right now and being like,
Mhm.
um, I'm like, I feel like I often hear about elderly people not being the most tolerant. So I'm like, when they are, I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
sweet. What book would you recommend to this grandma?
What book would I recommend to this grandma? Um,
I would do some kind of half-naked romance book. I feel like she'd love that.
I think, oh, I mean, obviously, the first thing that came to mind was Cemetery Boys by Aiden Thomas because I want her to have
A
a
good
fiction
time.
to read. But I also think I would recommend The Prince and the Dressmaker.
She would love it.
Um,
I think she would love it.
what else? Oh, Lady for a Duke.
Oh, that would be the perfect read.
Hmm.
I don't know if she likes romance, but I feel like she would. She just gives me that vibe.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's here's a spicy one. And by spicy I mean a potentially upsetting one.
Oh,
So, trigger warnings for emotional abuse, controlling behavior, and property damage.
all right.
Uh my 28 my 28 female boyfriend, 30 male, erased the whiteboard I had my novel timeline on for 3 years. So this was posted August 2nd of 2017.
Okay.
I have been working on a novel for about a year. I write every day, even just a sentence. 6 months ago, my college switched to smartboards and put all their whiteboards in the garbage. I grabbed two because I have a huge wall space open in my living room. Most of my writing is done on my Google Drive, but I have things like character personalities, names, places, and general timeline, etc. Stuff I want to remember. I used to take a picture of it so I had my ideas with me. I used to write on my lunch break. I stopped doing that because I burned myself out and my writing quality takes a huge dive. Plus, my boyfriend helps me write and it helps us connect on such a deep way. So I haven't taken a photo in about 3 months. The whiteboards are nice because I can read my notes across the room while I'm sitting in my favorite chair. I got home last night and all of my stuff was erased. It was all train of thought. Like I'd come home and jot something down. Handwriting it is way more cathartic for me. Had some sketches of things in the novel. Basically, have to go through and remember every single thing on it. I have a lot of it stored in my head or on my Google Drive, but there are some things I'll never get back. But it's the fact he erased it. We don't live together. He told me he'd been focusing too much on it, and he told me I'd been focusing, sorry, too much on it, and have no time for him. We hang out at my house 5, 6 nights a week. I write while he plays video games. It's a good dynamic, and I thought we enjoyed it. We are always laughing, and he helps me with my wording, and I Google stuff to help him with his game. This is the first time he's mentioned it bothering him. If he had brought
Well,
it up,
also, didn't she say they write together?
she does say that he helps her with her writing.
Okay.
I know. Um, this is the first time he's mentioned it bothering him. If he had brought it up, we could have talked about it, but he went nuclear, and I have no idea why. I didn't know what to do. I was so frustrated. We have one serious argument over his driving. He got better. Oh, we've had one serious argument over his driving. He got better. My family took him on vacation a few weeks ago. I watch his nephew all the time. His family paid for my entire spring semester. We are so much a part of each other's lives, and I feel so hurt and heartbroken. He's my muse, and just the other day we went to the jewelry store to look at rings. My
Nope.
feelings ro I know. My feelings rotate between rage, sadness, confusion, sorrow, anger, everything. How do I even approach this? Last night I was so upset I asked him to leave. He hasn't texted. He hasn't called. He hasn't stopped by. I keep typing in questions to ask but keep erasing them. Why did you do it? Are you unhappy in our relationship? What did I do? I'm even more heartbroken due to the fact that he hasn't called or texted all day. I'm afraid to call him. I don't want to hear him say he thinks we should break up, or he doesn't want to be with me when I'm writing, or just ignore my call. Top comment for this original post.
Okay.
Holy crap. As a fellow writer, I'd be livid if I were you. This is the first time he's mentioned it bothering him. If this is true and he jumps straight to sabotage, this is messed up. It's messed up regardless because I'm sure your boyfriend knows how important this work is to you. Like, for him to not try to talk to you about this after 3 years is mind-boggling. Who does this? Text him the dreaded "we need to talk" message. Ask him when he's available and have him come over to use his words like a goddamn adult. Also, take his keys away or change your locks if you don't want to be that upfront about it. He lost his privilege. TBH, though, in all sincerity, I don't know if this is something I could move past. It comes off as so cruel. He knew exactly what he was doing, and he chose to go into your home when you weren't there because he knew he was doing something wrong. He either knows he's messed up or he feels as though he's in the right, and that's why he hasn't reached out to you. I am shocked and
It
appalled
is
by
the
your
two extremes. Like,
exactly.
and I think he thinks he's right.
I think he thinks he's right too, and I'm also like, but they would write when he was playing video games. So like, what you want her to just sit beside you and like
Yes, that's exactly what he wants. He wants her to give
crazy,
him he wants her to give him her undivided attention. Well,
crazy,
his attention is divided.
crazy.
Couldn't be me.
Nope. Um. Okay. One more comment. Um. This is from another user. This was an unbelievably messed up way to deal with these feelings. I hate your boyfriend right now. Remember in Little Women when Amy burned Joe's books because Joe wouldn't let her come to the theater with her? That was pretty messed up, but ultimately Amy was a child and she would grow up and be better. Your boyfriend can't do better than the most hated March sister. Crazy. Um, He's showing you that when he doesn't get his way, he will punish you and destroy the things you care about. This isn't an isolated incident. It's an important piece of information about his character. If he comes back with a massive apology and a plan for how he's going to deal with his feelings in the future in a non-destructive way, then maybe I'd say it's worth a conversation about continuing the relationship. OP responds back, actually haven't read Little Women, sad face, but I ordered it on my Kindle. It's just so out of the blue part. It's just so out of the blue part of me wonders if there's something going on with him beyond what he said. I don't know.
Hmm.
So here
I want to
is,
believe her that it's out of the blue, but I just don't.
it doesn't seem like it.
Unless, well, it for can I get my words together? It is a manipulation tactic, 100%. And
Regardless
it's a
of the thing.
very overt one.
Hmm.
So if he's been using covert manipulation methods that she hasn't been able to recognize,
Yeah,
then I could see why she thinks it is out of the blue.
agreed. Excellent observation.
Thank you.
Okay. Um, OP edited the post with an update.
Okay.
Holy cuss, you guys. CUSS. I don't know what this means. I'm absolutely overwhelmed. I'm not even sure what to say. I asked a girlfriend if I could come over and talk, so we are getting wine and a pizza.
Love.
November 8th, 2017, 3 months later. It's been about 3 months since I made my post. This somehow seems like it got really long. The night I made my post, I went to a friend's house and she ordered a pizza. We got ice cream and a bottle of wine. She's a straight shooter, takes a neutral approach, and gives solid relationship advice, so I felt comfortable talking to her about everything. She couldn't figure out why he'd done it. We went over how he and I hung out, how much he seemed to care about me, how we looked into each other's eyes, but it also revealed a lot of hesitation on my part. I'm a positive person and tend to forgive faults and overlook them. I suspect it is some sort of coping method from my childhood. We have had some unresolved issues, and I think he was holding in. But when I bring them up, he would just get kind of salty and go, "It's fine, I don't care anymore." But he'd bring them up in arguments. I didn't realize how toxic it was. That same night, I told him I was coming over the next day to talk about things. I told him we'd be over around 11, and the only thing he texted was okay, which I didn't respond to. I went over to his house for 11, and he was still asleep. He got upset when I woke him up. It took the wind out of my sails. On a good day, I cry if something upsets me, so I was so angry and heartbroken I couldn't even think. I left without saying a word to him, and he didn't follow me. On the way out, I went to the kitchen and took my house key off of his keyring. I drove home in a daze, collected all his things, put them in a box on my porch, and texted him to come and get them. He said, "What the hell? That's fine, I'll come by later and pick them up." I went out with a few girlfriends, got day drunk, and had some amazing food. It made me feel better but when I got home and his things were gone, I was heartbroken. I
Did she
never,
leave stuff outside?
yeah, good for her, girl.
Yeah, no, seriously.
Good for you, girl. I hope it was his gaming. I hope it was raining. Um, I never texted him. He never texted me. I got absolutely no closure, and even though people say closure is bull poop, I've had the hardest time moving on. It's been 3 months and I still cry in the shower sometimes. Oh, OP. Even though I broke up with him, I still feel so confused and heartbroken. I never figured out why he did what he did, and I likely never will, and I miss his help and companionship. I'd love to come here and say I finished my book, but I haven't written much since. I can't get into my character's head anymore. There's a feeling of loneliness and grief and that sort of helped me create a better outline, but I can't write about my characters. The other day I went to the bookstore to study. Ended up looking at books related to time travel and found one that has thousands of positive reviews. My novel is science fiction, and I've been trying to think about how to incorporate time travel, so it kind of perfectly lined up. Turns out a lot of my ideas mirror theoretical physics. It's eerie. I've never taken physics or read about it. Suddenly, string theory makes sense. Cosmology makes sense. I'm blown away, and it makes me feel so weird that so much of my plot has been studied so in depth. The book has lit a fire under me. Reading more about everything makes me so excited and helped me really flesh out my plot. I can't put it down and read 20 or so pages a night. I haven't actually made time to sit and read a book in years. I always have my notebook with me, now, so I write my ideas down. I haven't written about my characters yet, but my passion is back. My plot is making more sense. I don't care much about how we broke up. I'm not confused. Sometimes I get sad at night or during the day, or if I go out and make prolonged eye contact with a guy. I haven't thought about dating and still too hurt to pursue it, but every day I move on a little bit more. I want to thank everyone who gave me advice. I forgot about my post until just now, and when I went back to read it, it made me realize how seriously messed up it was. It gave me closure. Thank you.
Mm,
That's that.
that's that.
What do you think?
I'm glad she got out,
Ditto, dude.
and I'm glad it didn't escalate past that.
He just seemed like a like sometimes you want closure so badly, but you will never get it. And you just have to be okay with never getting closure,
Yeah.
which is tough beans. But also like sometimes wanting closure is like the last little bit of like control somebody has over you is you wanting that closure.
Yeah.
So I'm like I'm happy that OP is moving on and is excited about a book and is writing about physics or whatever. Good on you, girl. Rock on.
I'm glad she has a group of friends that are clearly there for her. And yeah, like moving on from any type of relationship, whether it's a romantic one, a familial one, a friendship one, like
Yeah.
there is grief in that,
Mm-hmm.
but it's never worth compromising your safety or your happiness.
And like even if this was like the one thing he did, like if it was like the perfect relationship and he didn't do anything other than just erase your timeline or something, he knew how much that meant to you.
But she said that in every argument, he would bring up all the things that
Exactly.
were bothering him. That is another manipulation tactic.
Yes. But
Like,
but even if like all that aside, if it was just the whiteboard thing, like he was like the perfect partner in every other way, that's still reason enough, in my opinion. Because like
oh,
that is like that's someone taking like your dreams, your hopes, your future, your the things that you're passionate about, and just being like, no,
and
actually,
like you're 30. You need to use your words.
and that's the kicker. I forgot he was 30. That's crazy.
Like, you're not in high school. And even if you were in high school, it wouldn't be okay. That's like straight up kindergartner stuff.
Yeah. Yep.
Like, if you have big emotions and big feelings about something, use your words.
Agreed.
Um, my mom, I'm so sorry, my mom's been texting me. Ellie got her groom. So she's
Um,
been texting me what she looks like. They gave her a bow.
oh, gorgeous girl.
Isn't she a gorgeous girl?
She looks so happy.
And this is from the top.
Oh my goodness.
And
She loves the camera. What's going on here?
she doesn't.
She's
Oh,
modeling. She's posing. Ooh,
I'm so happy. She looks so good. She's a
so
little
sweet.
scraggly. We let her grow out over the summer. Um, I don't think my mom gave her anxiety meds, but I can't tell.
There. There.
I can tell when I'm with her because when she comes back from the groomer and they're sitting in, all she wants to do is snuggle, which is
Oh,
so against her personality.
little Ellie, so sweet.
Anyway,
So, so sweet. Um, okay. Next story.
I'm
Uh,
ready.
my former doctor published a book including anecdotes from my life.
What?
Yeah,
No.
yeah. June 18th, 2018. I saw this doctor for 3 years for mental health concerns. They never diagnosed me, citing that they don't believe in diagnosing and they believe in treating their patients. Crazy.
No.
I'm
Three
like,
years?
yeah. I switched to another doctor and was diagnosed and am doing well. Good. The former doctor published a book which,
Keynote, I'm diagnosed and am doing well.
yeah, Not that the 3 years before where I was just being treated for a problem rather than being diagnosed with something is crazy. Um, I
How do
switched
you
to
treat without a diagnosis?
then you're just it's this whole thing where it's like I feel like it's like because only certain doctors can technically diagnose you, but everybody can prescribe you medication. But I'm like, sometimes just getting the name of the thing, being like, I am this, is talking about closure is enough, like for you to just be like, I can wrap my head around it.
Yeah.
Crazy, crazy. Um, my former doctor published a book which included anecdotes from our session, which I believed to be private. They did not include
They
any.
are.
Yeah, that's like a whole
That's
thing.
like a big problem.
They did not include anything someone in, say, California can track me down by, but my significant other knew I saw this doctor in the past and was able to figure out it was me from what they wrote. Honestly, just feeling violated, not sure if I can do anything. Book is published, not like I can ask them to please not include me, right? Is there anything I can do here? I just feel like
So,
literally, I just feel like they should have asked my consent before publishing something. Thank you for your time. Um, relevant comments. Someone writes, it depends on how de-identified the information is. That they didn't diagnose you is irrelevant. Sorry, I was explaining why I left their practice. It included, so this is what was included in the book, past abuse had faced from parents and in childhood, and some details of an abusive relationship I was in for years. Anyone close to me who knows I saw this doctor would know it was me, and there were some people who may be able to figure it out who I am from one particular detail. Specifically, I'm worried about my ex, if he ever found the book, could possibly figure out what country I'm currently living in. Um, then the commenter writes again, unsure if directly contacting the psychiatrist is a good idea. Others who know more can help. OP writes, I wasn't sure either. That's why I asked. It's already out there. If I found out before it was published and could have said no or asked her to alter a detail or two. Um, and then this is the original poster again, commenting just a mini update.
okay.
Hi. I wanted to thank everyone who took time to read and comment. I haven't decided exactly what to do at this point. I've decided up until people got in my head, I'll draw more attention to it. I'm still upset about this and will probably contact the doctor once I've cooled down. I'm still very angry. My partner knows a type of abuse I was subject to that I wasn't ready to tell them yet. Now knows.
Oh,
Thank you for everyone who took time to give me advice. Reading it makes me feel a lot better. I thought I was overreacting, but this has been very validating. Um, someone comments, how would you know the doctor didn't have a diagnosis if they were keeping it a secret from the patient?
huh?
Um, OP says, hi. She did diagnose me. She made the choice not to tell me the diagnosis because she was afraid the life sentence was to being sick might make me spiral. Crazy.
No, that's weird.
She wasn't wrong at first, but by the time I left, I had figured out what was wrong with myself. I harbor some resentment there, but it doesn't seem relevant to the book situation other than explaining why I chose to leave the practice, since she was otherwise very helpful. That being said, I'm choosing to reply to this comment to publicly announce it should not have been my doctor's choice. Yes, girl.
Thank you.
I've asked her multiple times since learning what I have and understanding my symptoms, I have improved vastly. She's talking about the diagnosis, keeping the diagnosis to herself.
Okay.
Um, I know what to look for, and I understand that I'm not just a colossal failure. I have a genuine chemical imbalance, and my brain chemistry has probably changed from a young age due to my childhood. In other words, I feel in control now. I feel empowered. Before, I felt completely out of control because I did not understand what was happening to me. I don't hate her, but it was the wrong approach for me. And it's something I get touchy about. Solving the mystery gave me back a life. Not the life I expected, but it's still miles better than the hell I was living. So, this is the first update. 1 month after the original post. I called the doctor. She said I signed something in my very first appointment giving her permission to do it.
I would ask for that.
Agreed. What do you think, girl? Exactly.
Because what do you mean?
I'm like, isn't that in the US it's called HIPAA, right?
Hmm.
Isn't that HIPAA violation, girl? Yeah, exactly.
She's like,
Um,
yeah.
she said, ugh. She said, it's early, mummy. I'm upset by that. Even if I did sign, I spent my first session crying and begging for help so I wouldn't hurt myself. It was the wrong time for me to be agreeing to anything, and frankly, if I had been in the right state of mind, I'd never signed it and would have left and found someone new. I didn't ask to see it. I just want to wipe my hands of this. My significant other dumped me over something he learned because my baggage was just too much. No.
Oh,
I just want to move on with my life. Anyone who anyone who asks now that it's out there, I'm just saying it's my private business and to drop it. Anyone who doesn't deserve a place in my life anymore. Girl, please, I can't do both. Thank you. Bump therapy up to twice a week for a bit. Thank you to everyone who gave me advice. Biggest thing to take away, read everything I sign. This is my own fault.
no.
It's
There
not
is
your
some onus of
fault.
the doctor. Um, is there more?
Um, yes, there is more. So this is another um mini update. Hello, I'm
Okay.
getting a lot of PMs, so here I am. I'm done. I can't handle anymore. I lost the guy I thought I might marry. He's making my life a living hell, telling all my friends that it was me. People are picking up her book just to gawk at it and gawk at my sordid history. I'm being made fun of that I still wet the bed well into my 20s. I'm done. I don't ever want to think about this again. It's just dragging me down to a place I can't let myself be in anymore. I'm sorry that's not what people want to hear, but I can't bear this anymore. Maybe one day when I'm in a better place, I'll look into it. But for now, I need this to be over. Thank you. Edit. I'm such a wreck. It took me until 1 a.m. to fully read this thread. I can't handle trying to have any sort of legal battle right now. I had to get drunk to even call her. But I'm reading everything and saving everything relevant just in case. I'm not saying that I'm going to look into doing anything. I hate what she did. I just can't do anything right now. I'm sorry that it's not what I should be doing right now. Um, then another commenter writes, it's unfortunate, but at the same time, her partner at the time showed their true colors. It sucks, but long term is better for the OP.
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned, my ex can go F themselves. Facebook blocked Jim the Hit. Jim the Hit. And I can't remember the last part of the saying. He can go screw himself. Um, so then this is another update. This one's kind of long,
Okay.
but we're almost to the end. But this is crazy. I had to provide a doctor's note for missing a week of work. My boss looked up the doctor online and keeps telling my coworkers to be gentle with Banana. She's unstable, and Banana is delicate. Please be careful with her. She has directly told two of them that I missed work because I am mentally fragile and that I see a doctor for it. I know she meant well, but I feel so violated. My coworkers shouldn't know I'm seeing someone for my mental health, and now they do. There's no HR in my place of employment. Is there anything I can do other than look for a new job? I haven't had the chance to bring this up to my doctor, but will at my next appointment. Thank you for your time. So the boss Googled the doctor that the person was seeing and then found out about the book, read the book, and then told the coworkers about the book.
Okay.
Crazy. OP commented on an earlier post and left a mini update. Being violated in this regard is becoming the standard for me, which is awful. I posted a while back about my new doctor writing a book with my stories in it if anyone cares. I got her fired. Oh, where's that update?
Yeah, hello.
I'll let her know when I'm leaving when I do. If the owner can't do anything for me, maybe he will transfer me to another location. Okay.
Of work. Okay.
Update on the jerk doctor who wrote about me in her book. Okay, this must be it. I can't get into too many details for privacy reasons, but I'm definitely hammered and celebrating and remembering I posted here. As a reminder of my last post, my doctor included anecdotes from our session in her books. My ex, now boyfriend, knew she was the one I had been seeing, so he picked up a copy of the book and started spreading details of my past to our mutual friends after reading it. I ended up having to move to get away from all the drama. She was arrested and charged with an unrelated crime.
Oh,
If she ever practices again after this, allegation charged, I don't know the right term, I'm going to be shocked. I never asked for copies of the papers I'd signed, which I'm sure I'll be judged for. As far as I'm concerned, it's over. She's being punished, even if it's for something else, and I live somewhere my ex won't find me. I'm just happy and I wanted to share. I'm sorry if it's against the rules because I don't need legal advice.
yeah. I mean, people shouldn't be giving legal advice over the internet.
No.
Um, Lots of thoughts. I actually don't know what the like law is if a doctor is going to post. If a doctor is going to publish a book
Yeah.
that is clearly meant for like or should be for probably academic and research purposes.
That's not what this sounds like, though.
Um, but it's not like it's a nonfiction book, right? Like it's not
Yep, yep.
for it's in theory, it's not for entertainment. Um, like what the procedure and process is if
Mm-hmm.
using real patient information, because my instinct would be that you have to get consent from the patient
Mm-hmm.
explicitly,
And continued consent.
and you have to, I don't think you can leave in enough details that these people are identifiable.
Yes.
Um, so if I were giving, I won't give OP advice because they don't want it, but if somebody finds themselves in this situation, my instinct would be to contact a lawyer
Yeah.
and get a lawyer to reach out to the doctor for that documentation as opposed to you.
Mm.
Um, if you have the resources to escalate it, the likelihood that you are not the only patient that is being violated is high. So, trying to sort out how to contact those other people and go after the doctor that way.
And like I get it. Like I get this it's like a double-edged sword where it's like you want it to be over so you just want to forget it, but also like understanding that this person could be doing this to other people then in the future.
Or actively.
Yeah,
In that
exactly.
same book, there are probably other patients
Yeah.
going through the same thing.
What just
The boyfriend, though, reading it and telling people about it, and the boss telling people at work that she like sees people for mental health purposes and like be gentle, that's so many steps too far.
and like the boyfriend is just malicious. Like it's just like
Yeah.
the yuck, like just huge yuck. The boss, I can see where maybe the person is trying to come from a place of concern, but it's absolutely
Right. And
not.
especially when it sounds like it's a small team, like especially if there's no HR.
Yeah,
So everybody's in each other's business at work anyway,
yeah,
but especially when you don't have that HR barrier, it can get very like muddy.
of
uh,
course.
how people decide to share information. Like, which is why I always tell people, I'm like, you don't owe your boss an explanation.
No,
Like, just say you either are like going to doctor's appointments or you just need a day. Like, you don't have to tell them, like, I am seeing professionals and that this like happened to me. Unless you want to. But then you have to recognize that they might tell somebody.
exactly. Exactly. It's like it just seems like OP just had like bad thing after bad thing after bad thing happen to them. And I laugh only because I'm like, how is that even possible?
Yeah, because it's so violating.
It is. I'm just like, this is like it's almost like and that's the thing, and there's always a disclaimer with Reddit stories, is that you don't know if they're true or not.
Right.
So you always have to kind of take it with a grain of salt. But I'm like, if we are considering this being 100% a true story, this is ridiculous. And I'm like, I'm so sorry, girl.
Yeah.
I am so sorry. Okay. I've got two more. Two
Okay.
or maybe three more. We'll see how long they take. Um, okay, this one was originally posted on the Am I the A-hole page, which we are well
Mm.
familiar with. Um, the title says, Would I be the a-hole if I sue my sister-in-law for stealing my book and making a huge profit from it? So this was originally posted on the 14th of September in 2020.
Okay.
Um, and then this is before we get to the actual post, there's a little edit that happened. So I'll read
Okay.
the little edit. For those of you who thinks it's fake, because of the incoherency, grammar, and structure, that's why editors and proofreaders exist. They're hired to fix the manuscript before publishing. I didn't proofread this, and that's my fault. I'd like to write, but I'm not a professional writer. English is my second language. To those who think it's impossible to make lots of profit from a one-time self-published book from an unheard author, Sister-in-law has a decent following. When her followers buy the book, it climbs Amazon rankings, and that means it's more visible to other buyers. I came here not for legal advice at first because I'm struggling morally. I needed help. Blah 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 blah. Um,
I wouldn't go to Reddit for legal advice.
I also
Personally.
personally I would go to a lawyer or someone who knows the law. But that's just me.
Yeah.
I, 24 female, write as a hobby and like sharing my stories, my short stories with my small following. I do want to publish one day, but I want to make it perfect since it's not edited yet. My unfinished book we're talking about came from an idea I started building when I was in middle school. I just finished it last year, and because of the coronavirus, I was the
The
virus.
virus.
We know, girl, we
We
know.
know. We
Uh,
know.
I was forced to put that project aside to ensure steady employment with my day job. My brother and sister-in-law came to visit me to introduce their baby daughter about 6 months ago. Sister-in-law just thrusted her baby into my arms, even though I lack even the barest knowledge of how to hold a baby. The baby was fussy, and my brother came to calm her down while sister said she needed to use the bathroom to pump milk. They left later, and I didn't think anything of it until recently when I was told sister-in-law had published a book, and it had been a while since she'd published. Self-published is not as time-consuming as traditional publishing. I don't doubt my sister-in-law's intelligence because she's a smart woman, but I've always heard how she dislikes books because they're boring and drag on. I wanted to show my support and bought a copy only to realize it's way too similar to mine. I compared it to my copy of unpublished work. It's obvious it's been edited and proofread for fluidity and clarity. I'm so angry, and I admit I overreacted by confronting her over the phone. She said my screaming was upsetting her and hung up. It was a back and forth battle with phone numbers to get the truth. By this time, my parents and her parents were involved. Um, so then this is a mini update. Things did not go as planned. Uh, so I can't give you an update now. Soon, really sorry. It's not out. She said she needed more time to prepare her emotional state and she's overworked with their child, but she'll let me know when I have an apology. Thank you, everyone, for giving me advice on how to proceed with this mess. After speaking with my pre-law friend, I've decided to go the legal route. I reiterated my compromise with my sister-in-law and my brother, but he has fully taken her side. My parents warned me that I'd be disowned and I'd be dead to them if I'm willing to stoop so low. I hired a lawyer and given all the details on my side. The lawyer says she needs my unedited manuscript for the book and my sister's published book along with the copy sister-in-law sent to have it proofread and edited because the published books have different parts. My lawyer needs the unedited version, which sister-in-law should still have in the transaction she did with her editor and proofreader. We took the risk to ask sister-in-law for the unedited copy she sent to her editor and proofreader, despite the chance that for her to feign, I don't remember their names. I don't have their contacts anymore. I don't want to. I told sister-in-law that we will go through the route of having to use third-party notarization to ensure no foul play on either part. Have one individual look at my unedited manuscript and the one that she sent her hired editor proofreader. Once I told her that, she must have realized I was not bluffing. Sister-in-law and my brother accepted the compromise. I take the pseudonym and royalties with evidence of the sold copies. I stipulated that sister-in-law must put a message out to her followers on her blog that she stole from me and not a single word in the book is hers. Thank you to the Redditors for suggesting that. She's clearly pissed off and disgusted with me for doing this to her own family. I threatened her with further legal proceedings if she doesn't do it. No lawsuit happened, but I'm glad I got a professional opinion just in case. As words got back to my parents of what I did and how dare I got a lawyer to punish sister-in-law because of her blog following, will to punish sister-in-law because her blog followers will surely lose trust in her and future revenue. I told them and my parents that if they have anything to say, use my business email. I'm done with them. They treated crazy. Use my business email. They treated me like an outsider. Sister-in-law 1 month into dating my brother. Better than they ever did me. Crazy. I don't need that negativity dragging me down. I'm happier, more free with my opinions, and I don't have to feel the need to compete with everything my sister-in-law does just to get my parents to love me a little more than a daughter in name. I have my friends. They've always been more of a family unit to me than my biological ones. I knew I was going to lose something coming out of this, but I didn't expect I'd be okay with the disappointment and hurt. Thank you, everyone. And no, I will not be telling anyone what the name of the book is because I only came here to get moral judgment and update everybody on what happened. Please don't think I'm using this for clout. The book will not be promoted on Reddit. Not then, not now, not in the future.
Yeah. I mean, it got resolved, so I don't really have many thoughts.
Well, I'm like, the fact that the sister-in-law folded so quickly and was like, yeah, yeah, yeah. I was like,
Yeah,
she's
like,
obviously guilty, girl. Obviously guilty.
yeah.
But I have to say, this is, other than like the family being not so great, pretty ideal.
Oh, yeah. Like, got legal advice, got what they wanted, got their royalties back, took over the pseudonym, like,
Yeah, crazy.
wild.
Okay. I think we have time for one more. This one's kind of crazy.
Okay.
My boyfriend, 26 male, burned my 23 female book. What do I do?
Dump him.
Dump him. May 23rd, 2024. I've had to rewrite this multiple different times as I keep breaking down. I don't know what I I don't know what to do and I'm completely lost. So apologies for any spelling mistakes or errors, as I'm not in the best place mentally. Note that all the names are fake so that he doesn't find this, hopefully. Now a little backstory. I promise it will make sense. 9 years ago, I met my boyfriend Adrian. I was in the ninth grade, he was in the 11th. He had moved in next door and we were too close for buses, but were too far to walk, so he offered to drive me every day. Even after graduating, he drove me. We got really close and he became my best friend. We started dating 5 years ago. At this time, I began writing my first story, and Adrian's mom, as an author herself, began helping me. Together, we wrote, edited, and got my book ready to publish. Then, in 2019, she passed away unexpectedly. Everyone was distraught, and I decided not to publish the book. Instead, I pushed myself more into work, working 16-hour days, and up until a year ago, I continued to do this. Adrian and I bought a little duplex and moved in together. We rented the other half to a friend of his. Now, I've been getting back into writing and cut back to working 12 hours a day. That's I cut back to working a regular work hour and
Yeah. Yeah.
girl. Over the course of the last decade, I've been buying books. I spent over a good $3,000 on books and have over 175 I've bought myself at this point. I have another 50 that I got from his
Are they
mom.
all special editions?
I don't know because I'm like,
Hang on, I need to do that math.
do the math.
Let's say the average book, what was this, 2019?
2024.
Oh, okay. So let's say the average book was $25. She said 170 what?
175.
Oh no, that is like just t taking an average price between paperbacks and hardbacks at $25, that's $4,375. If she's buying them all full price.
That's crazy.
I was like, no way is that $3,000.
I'm worried for my own bank account. I'm like, because
I'm
I'm
literally like
pessimistic.
looking around like, okay.
You're like, uh-oh. Okay. Okay, little girl. Um, I have another 50 that I got from his mom before she passed, and also left in the will for me. And then a handful of friends from over the years. Last time I went through, I had 300 books. Modest. Um,
Reasonable.
a reasonable modest 300 books, which I'm like, yeah, that's a good collection. Not
Yes.
ridiculous. Not when you have friends like ours.
Nope.
Not when you have friends like ours. Or are us. Um, Now I know this might seem intense, but I have read almost every single one of these. Whenever I get a chance at work or when I have a day off, when I can't sleep, I read. Reading is a way I cope, I guess. Good for you, girl.
Well, yeah.
Could
Us too.
never be me. Could never be me reading all the books I own.
Oh no.
No.
Actively reading books I don't own.
And that's what Kindle Unlimited is, and that's bad for me.
What my library app is for.
And it's bad for me. Library app is not bad for me. We love libraries, let me be clear.
We love libraries.
Um,
Get your library card.
get it. Library books are hot. Adrian knows how important my books are. He knows how much time, money, and energy I've put into getting them all and keeping them looking good. He himself has read a good bit of them and helps me take care of them. Last week, we got into an argument. I don't remember what it was about, just that it lasted from the time I got off until almost noon. So it was at least 7 hours. Most of it was him screaming at me. I don't remember if I fell asleep or what, but I genuinely don't remember any of it. However, I did end with him storming out of the house and leaving. Spent the rest of the day in a haze, and immediately went to the spare room and started reading. It wasn't until he came in an hour before I had to leave for work that I stopped reading. When I got off of work the next morning, I immediately went home, took a shower, and fell asleep. I woke up to the fire alarm going off, and my husband.
Husband.
Huh? Her? Her? I think she meant to say boyfriend because unless she's got a boyfriend and a husband, which slay girl.
Then I understand why he's burning books.
Seriously. Okay, I'm crazy. I'm gonna pretend that this says boyfriend, but it does say
Okay.
husband. My boyfriend frantically running around trying to get them to stop. Immediately, I went to the spare room to see if everything was okay. My books, specifically the shelf that had been gifted to me, were smoking. Some of them were on the floor. I asked him what had happened, and apparently he had been playing with his new flame torch lighter when it caught one of my books on fire. It was on the top shelf, so while it wasn't too bad, and he was able to get them out, there were a few books, ones that he threw to the floor. I asked him what book caught on fire. He didn't respond, instead, just teared up and pointed. On the ground was the book his mom and I wrote together. I lost it. I asked him to leave, and when he tried to refuse, I threatened to call the police. It took 5 minutes of us arguing before I burst into tears and he finally left. It's been almost a week now, and I haven't responded to him at all. I've changed the locks on the house and even informed his friends that if they let him into my part of the house, I'll have them arrested. Last night, his father called me. We talked, and while he said he understood why I was hurt, he thought I should give Adrian a chance to come back and try to fix it. I don't think I can, though. I don't know if I can trust him. I don't know what to do. I just need advice. Uh, Oh, this is funny. Edit to clear up confusion. No, we are not actually married. We never have and never will be married. We never wanted to get married. However, we are considered to be common law marriage because of how long we've been together. Okay. Um,
I was like, oh.
the book he burnt wasn't an actual book. Not a professional one, anyways. It was a notebook that his mom and I were writing in. When I first wrote it, I wasn't allowed electronics and didn't get my first smartphone until I was 18. So it was just written in a notebook. Thank you for all your advice. I'm calling him, his dad, and his older brother tomorrow to meet for dinner. If it goes well, and then it goes. Well, It says if it goes well, then it goes well. Oh, that does make sense. Hopefully, I won't have to do any more updates or edits. Uh, Top comments. How dumb does someone have to be to use a flame torch inside near obviously flammable books? This seems like it was on purpose. Also,
Yeah.
the fact that he was shouting at you in the argument you had wasn't good either. Seems like he burnt your books on purpose. OP says, he's constantly playing with lighters. Usually he's very careful, but I can't see him burning things on purpose, especially not that book. Another commenter writes, how did he get the flames close enough to the book on the top shelf? His intent wasn't to burn the particular thing. Another commenter writes, he spent 7 hours screaming at you while you dissociated. That's intense. That isn't just genuinely upset. That's entering a complete emotional breakdown territory. He was able to sustain that tired against you for that long, tirade, sorry, against you for that long, to maintain intensity for that long. That and that is a worry. The idea someone that emotionally intense might burn your book is not a big leap. Still, you zoning out like that is a worry. How often is that happening? How often do you have fights this intense? For you to be able to block that much out is a worry in itself. You don't need to let him back in. If you do meet and discuss it on an open, neutral ground, you have strong grounds to consider that fire intentional harm, so his presence in your house is a liability until further notice. It's clear he needs professional help, and it seems so do you. OP writes, I'm on a waiting list to go see a therapist, but the appointment is still about 2 months out. His dad was the one who suggested it to me a few months ago because I do have a tendency to just forget almost all arguments I've had. We don't know why. I think I might have fallen asleep because I don't have any other explanation as why I don't remember. And then she also writes, I've
It's
had
like
this
you
problem,
disassociated.
literally. I've had this problem with a lot of arguments ever since I was a teenager. It used to be a lot worse when I lived with my parents, but it got better when I moved out. I'm calling his dad and his older brother tomorrow. I'm going to have him come with us to dinner before I go to work. I'm hoping that if we can't work it out, we can at least end it peacefully and we don't need to involve anyone else. Um, so then this commenter posts on a different subreddit. Hi. I own a duplex with my ex-boyfriend. Oh. We live in ID. Is that Idaho?
Think so.
And I'm currently trying to leave. Everything is in both of our names, and we have separate finances. How do I go about getting my name off of everything so I can leave? I don't know how to do any of this, as we are both on the titles. He did all of the paying and stuff. I've been doing a lot of research, but from what I've found, most of the advice is to get a lawyer. Do I have to
Yeah.
get a lawyer?
Yes. Yeah.
Um, is a relevant comment. Is your ex willing to work with you? Step one is he'd need to be refinanced the mortgage to just his name. Do not sign the deed over to him until he does this. OP writes, I haven't told him I'm about me leaving yet, so I'm not sure yet. Hopefully he will. Thank you. And then this is the update.
Okay.
A few months ago, I posted on here about my boyfriend burning a book that was very important to me. Multiple books, actually. A few days after that, my brother, Isaiah, male 29, Adrian and Adrian's dad all had lunch together. A few days later, when my brother and I both had time off. I want to say it went well, that we talked and agreed on breaking up and that we went our separate ways. But that would be a lie.
Oh,
We got there and Adrian wasn't there. His father had said that he'd been out all night and that he was still asleep, that he would join us when he woke up. So we waited another half hour before he finally showed up. We ordered and he ate in silence until Adrian's dad asked him when Adrian was allowed to move back in. Before I could say anything, Isaiah told them that he couldn't until I was moved out. Adrian didn't like this and quickly moved into a screaming match. I don't remember much after this.
sounds like you disassociated.
Yeah, it does sound like that. What I do know is that Isaiah and I left not long after, and when we got back home, we started packing my stuff. I've been living with him since. I've taken your guys' advice and tried to report him to the authorities or to get a restraining order, but they won't take my report as he had never been physically abusive towards me and they don't deem him a threat towards me.
No. No. You can still get a restraining order.
We then went and found a lawyer just in case something happens, and
Good.
because I just know Adrian will start trouble with the house and the cars, so I guess we're preparing for that. Now for the good updates. I got into a doctor who believes I have a dissociative disorder and is sending me to a specialist.
I'm sorry, I don't
However,
mean to laugh.
I know I'm just we all knew it. We all knew it, and we're all just glad that we got to the same conclusion eventually.
Yeah.
Um, and they're sending me to a specialist. However, this is still a few months out. I'm also going to be talking to a counselor twice a week starting sometime this month. I haven't gotten a new job in hospice yet, but honestly, I don't think I want to at this moment. For the last month, I've been doing
Oh,
smaller
that's why
jobs.
she was working so many hours.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I'm like, what job do you have that has you, which would make sense.
There we go.
Um, for the last month, I've been doing smaller jobs such as babysitting, tutoring, and dog walking. In the meantime, I've been reading a lot more and have also been getting back into writing. I've actually recently discovered fan fiction and have been joining a book group in my area. I'm going to be very honest. I'm happier than I have been in a very long time. Since before my dad came back, at least. He did a lot of damage not only to me, but also to Isaiah, and we're both just starting to recover from it. So yeah, that's my update. Thank you everyone who helped me so far, and I think this might be the last time I use this account. So thank you.
All right. Yeah, if you need to separate real estate, get a lawyer.
That seems to be the common denominator with a lot of these stories. It's like you should probably just get a lawyer.
Seek legal advice.
Crazy. Do you think he did it on purpose?
Yeah, I do.
I also think he did it on purpose.
It just doesn't make sense. One, you wouldn't yell at somebody for 7 hours when
Yeah.
you were in the right.
Yeah.
Um, Two, the details don't add up. Top shelf. If you play with fire for fun, one,
Crazy.
red flag. Two, you would know not to go near books.
Especially like the specific like one book that like is so like emotionally connected to your significant other and to your mother who passed away is
Yeah.
crazy. Like, come on, brother.
Yeah.
Seems like you dodged a bullet, to be honest. Like it seems like your life was really entwined with this guy's and that it needed something big to kind of dislodge you from each other, and I think it's for the best.
Yep. I agree.
Well, those are our Reddit stories for today.
Thank you so much. I loved this morning's story time.
Oh, you're welcome. You guys got to hear me try to read out loud at the ungodly hour that it is. But I think it went pretty well.
I agree.
If you have any thoughts or feelings on any of the stories, we'd love to hear your opinions in the comments. Send us a message, whatever. Um, although I feel like a lot of these are just plain and simple. Like, yeah, this is
Yeah, they wrapped up.
they wrapped up pretty well. But yeah, let us know your thoughts. I'm very interested to hear. Shall we do our current reads? I know you're excited.
Yeah, let's do it. Do you want to go first and get all your talking out of the way, or do you want to break?
I want a break. I need to figure out what I want to talk about.
Okay. I have a few. So, okay, let me just give you a little update on what I've been reading this month in general, because I feel like I've talked about some of the books that I finished. I want to give updates. So, we actually have an episode coming out as a bonus episode post the season wrapping up. So, we're not going to say too much about like what that bonus episode is, but you do have a bonus episode to look forward to. In that episode, I talk about starting Behooved, which I finished, and I hated it.
No,
It was not good. It like,
really?
yeah, it really wanted to be My Lady Jane with Shrek, and it was neither. And it like I feel like I talk about books as like a skeleton. So like sometimes I'll say like it had good bones, but it didn't have the meat. This had like three solid bones. Everything else was cracked.
Crazy.
Like I couldn't get on board with the narrative style. I was kind of in it for the plot, but it lost me halfway. The way there's like a couple there's like a main villain, but then there's other people that are like employed by the villain. And one of those people, their ending is so unsatisfactory because they give them a redemption that makes no sense at
Oh,
all.
ew.
And I was like, just because you're writing a cozy fantasy vibe, one, this book is about assassination. It shouldn't be cozy fantasy to begin with. Two, you don't need to give people redemption arcs if they did a bad thing.
No, they can just
They
be
could
bad and
just,
that's okay.
or they could be beholden to their circumstances and they have to live with the consequences of their actions.
Yep.
So that's where I stand. I think if you're gonna read a horse shifter book, read My Lady Jane. Just do that instead. Um, Give Me Butterflies. I talked about, I think, in our
Oh,
last
yes.
episode. Also, didn't like it.
No.
Um, so this was a astrologist and an entomologist working at a museum falling in love. The beginning of the book, it was giving hate to love. It was giving Grumpy Meets Sunshine.
Yeah.
And I knew from the beginning that I wasn't going to love the narrative style. One, I didn't really like the banter, and two, it just wasn't clicking for me.
Yeah.
It was dual POV, which I think helped a lot, but so much of it moved so fast. Like it was really hard to tell how much time passed between the beginning of the book and the end of the book.
Mm.
And there were good solid chunks where she did the thing that I hate, where she was like, the last 2 weeks have been amazing. We've this and this. And I'm like, just show us. Write a montage chapter. The art of the montage is being lost.
Even a paragraph at the beginning of a chapter. That's all you need, brother.
Like, I don't want thoughts in heads. I want words out of mouths. I want to visualize what's happening and be in the conversation.
Agreed.
Um, the Now I did finish both of these books because I was like, I kind of want to see where they go, and both of them just left me feeling like, okay, fine, whatever.
Hmm.
So that was annoying. I reread The Foxglove King, and it was as good the second time as it was the first time. I actually didn't reread it when I read the Nightshade or Hemlock Queen um last year, and I'm really glad that I went back and listened to this because one, I really love the audiobook, and two, there's so much that I forgot happens. And just reminded me how much I love Hannah Witten and Hannah Witten's writing, and I'm like, hee fantasy. Um, okay, so two books that I have finished in the
Hmm.
last week since we have last spoken. Two.
Look at you
The
go.
first is The Blonde Who Came in from the Cold by Ali Carter. It is the sequel to The Blonde Identity, which I read last year when I was in my espionage romance phase, and I was like, I want spy romance. Um, I feel so conflicted about this book because I think I liked it a little more than Blonde Identity. I still think her Christmas book, The Most Wonderful Crime of the Year, is one of her best books. Now, I've only read three of her books at this point. I haven't read Gallagher Girls, I haven't read some of her other series, but The Most Wonderful Crime of the Year is one of the best books I read in 2024. It was so much fun. The thing that Allie does exceedingly well is tension.
Mm.
She writes some of the best banter and tension into books. Where this kind of lost me, and I'm gonna try because if you go into this book without reading The Blonde Identity, most of The Blonde Identity is spoiled for you.
Got
So,
you.
I'm gonna try and be vague. The main character in this book, at the beginning and for like a majority of the book, feels naive in the decisions that she has made to become a spy.
Hmm.
And I don't necessarily buy it. But once we get into like her graduating from spy school and whatever, I'm like, cool, that's fine. Her at the beginning, she's like, I'm going to spy school. And I'm like, that feels fake. I feel like we needed to come up with a better way to say that.
Yeah.
Um, and the main premise of the book is that this these two spies wake up handcuffed to each other in a
Ooh.
shack. They do not remember the last 48 hours. They know each other and haven't seen each other in like a year. And they have to figure out who has kidnapped them, why they've been kidnapped, who they can trust. And it becomes pretty clear that the only two people they can trust are each other, but something clearly happened a year ago and they don't want to trust each other.
Dun dun dun.
And over the course of the book, which I think is actually a kind of fun thing that Allie does, is we're in present day, but then she takes us back and we get to see the last like 10 years of them knowing each other and all the missions that they've been on together and how it kind of ties into what's happening to them now, but then also like how their relationship grew, which I think is always fun. Um, she lost me in the end when she was wrapping up the plot because there were so many holes that did not get filled. Like some of it just kind of felt like, okay, I'm gonna like plop this villain here. I'm gonna noodle some backstory here, and we're just not gonna finish talking about some of the groundwork that got laid at the beginning, which is where she really lost me. I was like, you kind of had me. You had me until the third act,
Mhm.
and then you lost me. Um, the main gripe that I have with Allie's books is while she is very good at writing tension, everything is closed door. You don't see nothing. And it kind of worked in this book because there wasn't much to see. But I'm like, why? Why? And you know me. I like reading spice. There are plenty of people that don't need that and don't want it. So clearly these books are for those people. But I'm like, why would you write so much tension
Yeah.
to give us nothing? I hope you're hungry for nothing.
Or
Like that
nothing.
literally is what those scenes are like.
That's
So I feel really torn. I actually do want to go back and reread this book though, because I feel like I read it really fast. I read it in 2 days. And which after a summer of not reading,
it's fast.
a joy. Um, so I want to go back and reread it, but the more that I think about it, the more I'm like, ugh, but there's one scene, and I don't want to say anything because it is like a pretty important moment for the couple. It has been playing like a movie in my head for the last week. It is so good. And I'm like, I know I put on my Instagram story, I was like, she calls to me like a siren. And I am a foolish, foolish sailor dashing myself against the rocks, the book. Like that is how I feel reading her books. I'm like, it's like that manic kind of face flushing. You want to know what happens. The pacing is really great. Like she has so much going for her that I was like, how did you fumble the end so bad? How? So, it's like when I'm in the midst of reading the books, I'm like, oh, I'm enjoying this. And then I get to the end and I'm like, God damn it.
Fumbled the bag right at the end, girl.
So, I decided to read another spy romance right after that. I am determined to create a spy romance list on my bindery because I kind of started on TikTok last year and then I just got so overwhelmed trying to find books that gave me what I wanted. Um, and I got recommended The Spy and I literally in my notes app just have the thumbs down next to it.
Whoa.
And it again, the plot, it had everything going for it. So the main character is a hacker. She's like a ethical hacker in that she uses her services to show companies how at risk they are for um hacking. Her job title is actually penetration specialist.
Okay.
Um, for how many sexual innuendos were in this book? It was also closed door.
The doors the doors slam shut against you, and that is unfair.
It's a brick wall, actually. I was like, I got to the end of the book and I was like, wait, nothing happened. Huh? So we've got hacker girl, her name is Dove, and her sister, who is a photographer, allegedly. And she travels a lot for work because she does travel photography.
Got
So
you.
she's in town. They're gonna get dinner, but she has a interview with a journalist beforehand. There's some like kind of weird things, like he says the name of the room that they're going to out loud. His key card doesn't work at first, and then it does. And over the course of the interview, he starts asking her a lot of questions about her sister and like details about her life that she what's the word? Rationalizes because of things she's put on social media.
Okay.
He's hot. Also. Leaves the interview, goes to the restaurant she's supposed to meet her sister at, realizes she doesn't have her phone because she handed it over to journalist guy because he was going to give her his number. And he never gave it back. And I was like, how out of it do you have to be to not take your phone back?
Literally.
Weird.
Weird.
Then a man comes up to her table, starts talking to her, and she's like, I don't understand. One thing leads to another. She figures out this guy thought she was her sister. She has been given an identity to go to Prague and very quickly figures out that her sister is a secret agent.
So
And
silly.
unfortunately, it seems like her sister is potentially a double agent. And the guy that was interviewing her is involved somehow. And the two of them end up in Prague, and it goes from there. I have so many issues with this book.
Okay. Yes.
One, for a hacker and for somebody that works in private security,
Yeah.
this girl has no discernible like trust ability. Like she just blindly believes what this guy says from the jump. And I was like, no, no, no. Also, she has this incredible skill that they talk about all the time.
Yeah.
She never uses it. Ever. Then at the beginning of the book, when she's talking to the guy that thinks that she's her sister, he's like, "Did you get a nose job?" And she's like, "Yeah." And then she goes back in her head and she's like, "My sister and I took a boxing class a couple weeks ago, and of course, I got hit in the face and my nose got broken, and so I had to get my nose fixed." And this boxing class comes up so many times for no reason at all. By the end of the book,
Yeah.
once a chapter, this boxing class gets mentioned,
It's
and
a
she
good
keeps
boxing
talking
class.
about how her sister was so great in this boxing class and she managed to get her nose broken. I was like, we know. We know. Shut up. Shut up about your nose and the boxing class. I was like, I'm going crazy.
At this point, I'd rather read a book about the boxing class.
No, seriously. And for a book set in Prague,
Yeah.
we don't see Prague.
Oh.
She's in a safe house, she's in another house, she's in Vance. That's it.
Yes,
And
of course.
I'm like, if you are going to set a book in a very, very specific location, make the book in that location.
Yeah.
This book could have been set in New York. This book could have been set in Indiana. This book could have been set in the middle of the ocean.
Yeah.
There were no discernible things about it besides one crepe dish that she ate that even meant anything about the fact that she was in Prague. And I was like, why? Why would you do that?
Yeah.
You, huh? And
Hmm.
so yeah, I really didn't like it, but the audiobook narrator, very good.
Okay.
The audiobook narrator kept me going because I was like, maybe there's something, maybe there's something. And then we were getting to the end and I was like, I just need to know how it ends.
Yeah.
Um, and it was so unsatisfying. Also, I really am becoming more of a dual POV girl.
Okay.
I'm so uninterested if we don't get both POVs in romances.
I've I'm especially like I feel that in romances.
Especially when especially for this one, because the guy clearly had such an agenda.
Yeah.
Having an unreliable narrator the entire time is so frustrating
Yeah.
and doesn't make for a good romance.
No. And it is
Like,
It doesn't have to be split 50-50 too. Like sometimes I think people
Oh,
think dual POVs have to be 50-50. I'm like, no, I actually like it when there's like one POV that takes most of it, but to never see the other side, it's just like
because I don't believe that they fell in love.
exactly.
I don't. There from her point of view, there was nothing to indicate that they were falling in love at any point. And then all of a sudden they're in love. And I was like, I, one, don't understand how you could trust this person,
Hmm.
let alone fall in love with them by making homemade Oreos. Are you kidding? Huh? So that's what I've been
Yeah.
reading. I am still in the middle of Orange Wine, which I am loving. Um, I'm reading that with my eyeballs, so it's taking me a little
Hmm.
longer than I thought. I might finish that this weekend. It's so tense. It really reminds me of Isabel Cañas's writing. She wrote The Vampires of El Norte and The Hacienda.
Hmm.
Um, so it feels very similar to how she writes, but no like speculative stuff is happening. It's very like cut and dry. Um, but it's juicy. It's like it feels like the perfect it actually kind of feels perfect in the summer because it like
Yeah.
you like feel the heat of
Yes.
passion and the climate of Colombia and like everything about it. I'm like, ooh, it's great.
Yes.
So I do have
Amazing.
that going for me.
Amazing.
What
Amazing.
what an odd reading month for me.
It's okay. Um, well, we read one book in common.
Mm,
I finished The Bloxam King. My poor copy saw better days. It was well
well,
loved. Um, I liked it. It's like a solid 4-star read for me.
nice.
Um, which I feel like is not uncommon for me in like the first books of series because things are going to ramp up.
Right.
Um, there was many twists at the end. I did not know. And Deirdre got. I was like, what is going on? Who?
I was getting the text at work and I was like, oh, he,
I was like,
he.
what is going on? Oh my goodness
And
gracious.
I had just finished it the day before
Oh,
you,
did you?
so it was like fresh in my mind.
Oh, good.
And I had had the exact same reactions to the twists. I was like, oh, whoa.
And I just picked up the Hemlock Queen.
Hmm.
So I started that this morning, quite literally first page in. But yeah, I'm excited to see what's going to happen next. I really like Laura as a character. I feel like she's a cool pro tag.
Yeah.
Um,
She's so complex.
she is complex, and I'm just like, she just seems cool. I
Yeah.
think she'd be cool to hang out with. Um, and then I also it's that time of year again where it's not the Cookanian time of year. It is the Katie Robert Dark Olympus time of year. So I'm reading Sweet Obsession,
Mm.
which is the Poseidon and Icarus book. It's a little slow.
Oh,
It's a little slow. Especially like I'm used to Katie's books being like I
yeah.
will finish them in one sitting because they're like 300 book pages.
Yep.
Um, they usually are so fast paced, but because where we are in the series, because there's been so many freaking books,
I know.
um, now like the romance takes a backseat to the plot in the later books because there's so much plot now and
Right.
there's so much politically happening in the world
Hmm.
that what used to be very romance driven is now way more politically driven, which I don't dislike. It's just different than the rest of the series.
Yeah.
So I'm just not going through it at the same pace that I usually am.
I'm so sorry. You're recording, right?
I was. Yes, I am.
Okay. I don't know why. I just like had a moment where I was like, is this recording?
Scared me.
Sorry. I like totally cut you off.
That's okay. Cut me off. Always cut me off if it's that, because that would be awful, dude.
I know.
I can't read all those stories again. Um, but yeah, it's a little um just the priorities of the book because uh stuff is going down. Some serious stuff is going down. And I'm like I'm very excited because I think the next book is the Hera. Zeke's
Yes,
book,
I'm so excited.
which has been the one I have been waiting for this
Since the
whole
beginning.
time. And I
Since
don't
the
I
beginning.
don't know who is going to be who by the time we get to that book. Which is another great thing about the series is that the characters inherit the names, so you're not
Mhm.
ever actually sure who is inheriting the name in the couples.
Yeah.
So it could always be a little different, but um yeah, I'm making my way through the book. Exactly. Um yeah, I feel like I've just I've been I've just been reading at a slow pace, but I don't dislike it. I just if I it feels like it's been a lazy summer
Hmm.
and I don't have much else to show. Like it's not like I've been watching TV or anything or like I got a new video game but I haven't really even been playing that. It just feels like the summer is like I'm in a hot tub and the world is just floating past me. So I'm
Like
just
a lazy
looking for a book
river.
to jolt me out of it.
Yeah.
I feel like honestly, part of this might be I've been in a reading slump. It feels like since I read Sunrise on the Reaping. Just like I've been chasing that
Uh,
high, and I
yeah.
don't know if I'm ever gonna.
That put me in a big slump.
I feel like I'm just like, oh my gosh, how am I ever gonna find something like that again? It was like nostalgia and perfect and whatever.
Yeah.
Um, I think I need to get obsessed with the series again.
Hmm.
That's what I need. So anyone have any obsessive series? Girl, please let me know. All right, girl, that's it. What do you have to say? What are you reading?
Anything?
She's just purring.
Love that.
Just purring.
Okay, we have reached the end of the episode. Like we mentioned very briefly, we do have some bonus episodes coming up after our season wraps at the end of August. So you are going to want to make sure that you are following us wherever you get your podcasts, be that on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you are listening. And make sure that you are following us on Instagram at Books on the Brain Pod so that you can stay up to date with everything that is happening in Books on the Brain world once our season wraps up, because Danielle and I, we are cooking up some stuff and we are very excited. You should also already be following us on Instagram because we love when you comment on our latest posts each
So
week,
much.
an emoji. And so for this week, I think you should leave the book and fire emoji together.
No.
There was a lot with like things being either like burnt or erased
I know. Very cathartic, but like in the opposite version.
in a bad way.
Yeah, like trauma cathartic.
Right. You can also leave that on Instagram, on Instagram, on YouTube in the comments. Wherever you can comment, really. I think you can leave comments on Spotify now too. Um, what else? What else do I need to say? Make sure you rate, review, and subscribe. It really helps us out. Make sure you are following us. Like I said, it helps us know where you are listening and what you are enjoying. And just like, it's a little boost of confidence for the two of us. Just two gals making a podcast. You could also follow us on our own accounts. I am at Deirdre Rose Morgan on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and Bindery.
And I'm DJ Books on TikTok, Instagram, and on Threads.
We will chat to you in the next one. Bye.
Bye.